Diet and nutrition for patients with a chronic kidney disease. Ooh, wow, that looks yummy! And that looks good, and that too!
You look so happy. Don't forget that you should eat healthy and have food from all 5 categories.
Yep, I won't forget! That's true! A patient with a chronic kidney disease and a patient receiving peritoneal dialysis will also have to take good care of their diet and nutrition.
Yes, as the PD fluid removes some essential nutrients, you will have to replace them with the right diet at the right amount.
That is, food from all 5 categories: protein, meat, egg, and milk; carbohydrate, rice and bread; fat, fruit, and vegetables. Now let's have a look at what each category consists of and how to choose the food from each category. Let's go!
The first category is protein. Protein helps in repairing the body, building the immune system, and preventing infections. You should choose egg white and lean meat such as fish, chicken breast, and pork tenderloin. You should avoid offal, streaky pork, egg yolks, oysters, squid, king prawn, and crab, as they are high in cholesterol, which is a cause of atherosclerosis. Additionally, you should avoid preserved meat, such as dry salted beef, salted egg, and salted fish, any sun-dried meat and fish. You should also avoid any processed food, such as sausage, ham, and bacon. And any canned food. All in all, this is to reduce the amount of sodium salt consumed each day, as it can cause hypertension and a fluid overload.
A patient receiving peritoneal dialysis should eat enough protein to replace the protein that is lost with the PD fluid. A female patient should have 4 to 5 tablespoons, and a male patient should take 5 to 6 tablespoons per meal. If this is not possible, at least you should have a supplement with an egg white. An egg white is equal to 1 tablespoon of meat.
If your blood phosphate or phosphorus is higher than 5 mg per deciliter, you will have to restrict the amount of high phosphate food consumed, such as milk, dairy products, egg yolk, dried nuts, tofu, and ice cream.
The second category is carbohydrate. Carbohydrate provides energy and helps the body to work and perform various activities. They can be found in rice, flour or wheat, nuts, taro, potatoes, pumpkins, cereals, corn, and millet. To have enough carbohydrate will help the body to use protein more effectively.
Food that you can have from this category includes rice, sticky rice, cornstarch, rice vermicelli, bean vermicelli, white noodles, tapioca ball, corn, pumpkin, taro, and potatoes.
And the foods that you should avoid are pasta or egg noodle, instant noodles, sliced bread, biscuits, baked goods, and snacks, as they are high in sodium and phosphate.
A patient should have food from this category with the amount of 1 to 2 ladles per meal, while avoiding sugary foods, especially if you are overweight or have high blood triglyceride.
Next are category 3 and 4, fruit and vegetables. Foods in these groups provide low energy, but are high in vitamins and essential minerals, which are important to keep a body strong and help the organs to function normally. Moreover, they contain the essential mineral potassium, which is necessary for functions of the heart and muscles. The blood potassium level should be in the range of 3.5 to 5.0 MEq per liter, no more or less.
If your blood potassium level is higher than 5 MEq per liter, you should eat fruits and vegetables that contain low potassium. Examples of low potassium vegetables include kale stem, iceberg lettuce, Chinese cabbage, cabbages, cucumber, zucchini, squash, gourd, green eggplant, beans, peas, okra, onion, basil, and hoary basil. Examples of fruits that contain low potassium are rose apple, pineapple, rambutan, mangosteen, apple, Chinese pear, green grapes, and grapefruit.
In case your blood potassium level is less than 3.5 MEq per liter, which could result from potassium loss with PD fluid, you should choose fruits and vegetables that contain high potassium. Examples of high potassium vegetables are morning glory, spinach, bok choy, kale leaves, chives, asparagus, carrots, tomatoes, the tips of leafy greens, broccoli, cauliflower, peppermint, and mushrooms. Examples of high potassium fruits are bananas, oranges, ripened papaya, ripened mango, jackfruit, dragon fruit, guava, longan, persimmon, cantaloupe, dried fruit, and juices.
However, you should restrict the amount consumed, 1 to 2 ladles for cooked vegetables, 6 to 8 pieces or bites for fruit. You should also avoid fruits that are very sweet in taste. If you are a diabetic, you will have to refrain from durian, jackfruit, custard apple, sapodilla, longan, tamarind. If you have fluid overload, hypertension, or have been told by your doctor to restrict fluid intake, you will have to consider the amount of water contained in fruit as well. Generally, fruit contains a high amount of water, 60 to 90%, depending on the type of fruit. Examples of fruits with high water content are rose apple, watermelon, dragon fruit, juicy pineapple, and strawberry. For a patient with a fluid overload and hypertension, you should avoid these types of fruit, as well as any preserved fruit and vegetables, as they are high in sodium salt.
Lastly, category 5, fat. Foods in this category provide high energy, keep our body warm, and help in the absorption of vitamins A, vitamin D, vitamin E, and vitamin K. These are fat from vegetables and animals. However, food from this category can make you fat and can cause blockage in your blood vessels if you eat them too much. You should restrict the amount of saturated fat, which can be found in fatty meat, animal skin, animal oil, coconut milk, butter, and margarine. It would be best to use vegetable oils for frying and cooking, such as rice bran oil or peanut oil. Nevertheless, you should restrict the amount to 2 to 3 tablespoons per day. You can save some money by using palm oil for deep frying instead of peanut oil.
Next group is seasoning sauces and drinks. These are not classified as the essential food like the 5 categories above. In any case, they help to make food tasty and increase our appetite, so we will have to know a little bit about them. Foods in this group normally contain high sodium salt and phosphorus, so you should be very careful using them. The first one is sodium salt. It can be found in most seasoning sauces, except for ketchup, chili sauces, Chinese black vinegar, and oyster sauces. If you consume food that is high in sodium salt, it may cause hypertension and fluid overload. A PD patient should not have salt added into his food. Instead, eat foods that naturally contain salt between 1,400 to 2,000 milligrams per day. The foods mentioned here are those that have not been processed, preserved, or canned.
You can use salt to season food, but not more than 1 teaspoon per day. For fish and soy sauces, this is equal to 4 to 5 teaspoons per day, and for oyster sauce, 4 to 5 tablespoons per day. You should refrain from using MSG, seasoning powder, and stock cubes to season your food. You should try to use herbs and spices instead, or seasoning it with other tastes. For example, the sour taste from lemons, or the spicy taste from chili. This will help to reduce the addition of sodium salt into your food and will help to increase your appetite as well.
Next is phosphorus or phosphate salt. This is mainly found in soft drinks that are dark in color, such as cocoa, chocolate, coffee with cream, canned coffee, milk tea, beer, and certain energy drinks. Consuming foods that are high in phosphorus, making them more fragile. Thus, you should refrain from these drinks. Don't forget to include the amount of water you've gained from drinks into your calculation for daily fluid intake. In conclusion, the main principles of taking care of your diet are: 1. Having enough food to meet your body's needs and replace any loss with PD fluid. You should have at least 4 tablespoons of meat at each meal. 2. Having food from all 5 categories. Add egg whites and reduce sugary food. 3. Avoiding food that is high in phosphate or cholesterol, such as egg yolk, oysters, squid, king prawn, crab, offal, dried nuts, sliced bread, biscuits, bakery, cereals, chocolate, cocoa, dark soft drinks, and beer. 4. Refraining from eating salty, canned, processed, or preserved food. Try not to season the food while cooking with seasoning powder, fish sauce, soy sauce, bean paste, or MSG. And try not to season the food on the table with dipping sauces. 5. You should eat cooked vegetables in an amount equal to 1 ladle per meal, and 6 to 8 pieces of fruit are allowed. If you have a high blood potassium level, you should avoid green leafy vegetables, tips of vegetables, pumpkin, vegetables containing bulbs, bananas, oranges, ripened papayas, and all dry fruit. 6. Restricting the amount of fluid intake. So, shall we try cooking a dinner?
That's a good idea!
What have you already had for breakfast and lunch, Kid D?
For breakfast, I had boiled rice, fried chicken with black pepper and garlic, stir-fried bean sprouts with egg white, and a rose apple. For lunch, I had rice noodle soup with pork. For dinner, I plan to have roasted fish with herbs, stir-fried prawn with onions, and steamed rice. That's making me drool. Then I'm going to have a ripened papaya as a dessert.
Okay, let's cook your meal then.
Let's start with roasted fish with herbs. First, wash 100 grams or 6 tablespoons of fish fillet thoroughly with water and leave it to drain. Put it on a banana leaf with basil leaves placed on top. Then wrap this around the fillet and put it in the oven, set at 250 degrees Celsius for 15 minutes. When it is finished, take it out of the oven and it's ready to be served.
Now, we are going to make stir-fry prawns with onions. Heat 2 teaspoons of oil in a wok over medium heat. Wait until the oil is hot. Then add crushed garlic and fry until the garlic releases its flavor. Then, add 20 grams or approximately 3 prawns with shells removed into the wok. Add 50 grams or approximately 1 ladle of sliced onions. Fry until these are all cooked, then put them on a plate, ready to be served with the fish.
Served with 1 or 2 ladles of steamed rice. Then, 6 to 8 pieces of ripened papaya for dessert.
To season this meal, we can use 1 teaspoon of seasoning sauce or 2 tablespoons of chili sauce or ketchup.
For a patient who is receiving peritoneal dialysis and is having stomach discomfort resulting from a fluid-filled abdominal cavity, you should split the meal into several little meals.
For a child who is receiving peritoneal dialysis, parents should be careful of milk and not give them soya, sugar, or nucleotide added or flavored milk. These include chocolate, yogurt, cocoa milk, or condensed milk, as they are high in phosphorus sugar content, which can cause osteoporosis and obesity. They should not have more than 2 glasses of milk per day.
If this is not possible, they should be given a phosphate chelating drug together with their milk.
In order to have control over your diet, you should do a diet record as well.
That's right! A diet record can be made by recording the foods that you eat. At least 3 days in the week, 2 weekdays and 1 day on the weekend. Then you can discuss this record with your doctor, nurse, or nutritionist to determine whether or not you have eaten the right foods.
And this is all about the diet that a patient who is receiving peritoneal dialysis should know.
Good health is like a prize. If you haven't had a kidney disease, then you should prevent it.
However, if you already have kidney disease, don't worry. If you can take a good care of yourself, your health will get better and you can live happily as well. Our bodies age with time. That is normal and natural. But we can prolong the uses of bodily functions by living in mindfulness. Know how to balance your life. Don't eat or do anything too much or too little. Keep your mind fresh. Think good and act positive. You will find happiness in your life.
That's right! Doctor, you are such a great talker. But as for looks, I'm still in the lead.
Alright, if we have any more information about kidneys, we will come back to tell you all about it. for the benefit of our audience.
See you! Goodbye!
Goodbye!
Bye-bye!